Well, if you've gotten this far, I just wanted to share some things. This is my first time attempting something like this, which is a 2007 Toyota Camry. So some of the things that I've kind of didn't find, I wanted to kind of share and just throw some things out there. And if you're pulling out your hybrid, I got a 2007 Toyota Camry, which is this vehicle right over here, and pull that out the trunk. So I think there's a video on that, on how to pull that thing out the trunk. So pretty heavy. But anyhow, there's a couple things that I didn't find on video. One is that you will have to remove, here's the gloves I bought first. I got them from Grainger, which are about $100, but cheaper than a visit to the hospital. So one of the things I found I didn't see was you're gonna have to remove these modules here on the 07 Camry to be able to get to some screws down and there towards the bottom. I don't know if you can see those very well, but there's some screws down there that will keep you from lifting. Trying to find this other screw out here, but you kind of get the picture. It will keep you from getting to the cover. So because this is covered, give me a second, I'll grab it. Kind of just throw these on here. This is the cover on the outside, right? It has some screws down here that you kind of unbolt it. So that's the cover on the outside. That's the one you take off first. That comes out and you'll find this underneath. And a lot of this stuff here is just plugs that are easily connected back in. They only go into one ordeal. There's a couple of clips here. A couple of clips, you just unclip the wire, and those are pretty easy fastened. So sorry this is a mess, but you know, I just wanted to share what I had found. So let me show you the other cover that goes up on top. And that's the other cover that when you're able to pull it off goes on here. And those tabs right there are underneath these modules. They're underneath here. So you're gonna have to take these apart before you're able to pull that cover off. So these orange connectors, they have a wire going through it, so I didn't pull them all the way off like I did these other ones here. And I got my new part in. It's a new thing I bought off YouTube. What I was told was that the Prius is interchangeable with the Camry and the Lexus, which it fits in really nice. And hopefully there's a little black tab you can see right there that connects to some wires on the bottom, and I'll show you those wires. And hopefully the screw that you get is on the same side, not on the opposite side. It'll look like this. But that's another thing I found that I didn't see anywhere. But it looks like if it is on the wrong side, you could probably plug it in anyway. And here's another part of the plate that I had to pull off of there in order to loosen these 4 bolts here. And after I did that, it released these rods right here, which kind of hold it down, which you've seen on other videos. And you can pull this out and all this comes out. And if you look down in there really close, I don't know if you can see it or not. I'm not going to pull this thing apart. But there's a black clip the black clips underneath here, this little black clip, when you're pulling this out, when you're pulling one of these modules out, just be careful because there is a black wire underneath there that connects to that black clip on the bottom. So if this is sitting in here like this on top, that black clip underneath right there, you kind of see it. That black clip underneath there has some wires connected to it. So just make sure don't pull off those wires or you probably have other problems. So anyhow, this is my first time doing this, man. I've never messed with one of these batteries, but for $4,200, I figured I'd give it a try, man. That's what the dealer wanted, to replace this whole module. And I found one of these here to be at 6.6 volts, so I pulled it out, put the new part in, and cleaning these. You can see the corrosion on there that they talk about. Just a little bit of corrosion, not too bad, and I cleaned up all my screws. So I'm gonna put this back on and give it a try. So, all right, hope this helps. All right, thanks. All right, another thing I wanted to show you is under this casing here, right? To get these things off, there's screws underneath here, which y'all, that's, some people have said that. I don't know if you can see, I've got a mirror on here. You can see the screws that's underneath. Those screws right there are the ones that hold these modules in place. So that's a mirror from underneath here. That's underneath this casing right here. And those on the Camry are 5/16, little 5/16 socket with a little extender. And also these last two modules here, right? The casing's blocked. Actually, on this side it's one screw, but you can see there's actually a little hole in there where you can reach that screw. I don't know if you can see that. That's the hole right there, so you can actually reach that screw underneath in there. There's that screw. So because what you'll see is that this casing here is actually welded together, so you can't separate this bracket right here from this case. But luckily there's a hole on this side, which you can see right in there, which you can get to that screw. And on the other side over here, on these last two modules right here, there are two holes underneath there from the bottom that you can reach from the bottom. So that's something I kind of had to figure out, like how I'm going to get that off. I tried sticking a wrench through there at first, trying to get to that screw up in there, and then I realized, hey, there's some access holes underneath there. So maybe that's something everybody else knew, but I didn't. But anyhow, okay, thank you. All right, one of the things I wanted to share, you know, I think if you're safe with this, you know, you just have some kind of basic common knowledge, you know. I think I seen one video where one guy said don't touch something on this end and something on that end over there, the leads there, you know. But if you touch these, you know, I was kind of intimidated when opening them up, you know, not to touch anything. I wore my gloves for the whole disassembly, and you know, maybe that saved me, and I don't know, but it just, you know, a lot of this, it looks intimidating, you know, but you know, if you do jump these, you know, with a positive and negative, you know, you probably create a spark or something like that. But you know, touching one of these and stuff like that, or touching this metal or this, or you know, stuff like that. There's some main big cables. I'd stay away from the orange cables and things. So, but I think, you know, if you're at this point to where you're opening up if you've gotten this far, put it that way, if you've gotten this far, you know, you probably have a lot of sense to know what you're doing. So to me, I just, you know, it's my first time messing with this. I'm a DIYer, man. I'll try to fix anything if I can, especially for $4,200. So not as It's scary, intimidating. I would recommend buying the gloves. Those I got from Grainger. They were, I think, about $100. And I also got these little cup organizers. I think they're jar organizers from Walmart for about 10, 15 bucks. And I just kind of labeled them because I thought this project was probably, you know, something new I've never done. So I've labeled them from the first screw I took off, labeled them all the way. You can use these for other projects too. And it came with a pack of 2, so they came together, 16, 15. So what I'll do is I'll just go through and put them back together. And what I did also was, you can probably see a little number right there, 13. So, you know, when I took out a screw, I labeled it, and then I put that over here into 13. And so, you know, screws with the same, that are the same part, you know, 13, 13, 13. So those kind of all go into 13. And just different numbers for different screws to take off different parts, and that helps. So when you're putting it back together, you're gonna have to guess like a whole bunch of screws and don't know which goes where. So anywho, all right, thank you. Okay, so this is the last of it. This little maze here, that's the airflow. So I'll put my hybrid battery back in. So got the airflow connector in. This little figure in the parts there. Charge my battery, but it's not connected. So it's keeping it charged up. And over here is where high voltage time. So that's where I'm going to use my gloves. That cable goes there. These wires here, have them taped up there, go into those 2 plugs, screw down. This connector over here goes here, and this is a with black 4 with black wire. So I labeled that somewhere. Probably goes in the back of some casing or something over here. So, and then that's it. So as far as connecting it, so all right. So I'm gonna put my gloves on and get these parts tied in. Hey, so just right quick. All right, one last thing I remembered also. When I put this plug in, comes in and out, and this top part up here, right up top, it actually pulls up, which kills the car, and the car won't run. So just make sure when you put it in, when you put it into that bracket, make sure and push it down. All right, so here's my final video of this, and so you can see there, no lights. This thing used to be lit up like a Christmas tree. The warning signs, check hybrid, check VSC, everything. Everything's nice and clear. Turn off my brights, and that's one less light on. And that's it. So when you first start it up, those codes might pop up. Just depending on how long it took to do your work on your hybrid battery. For me, it took about 2.5 weeks to work on it, so I think it was a little bit discharged. But it once I ran it for about a mile, it started popping. It worked right back up. It didn't work right away, within the first few minutes, I should say, which kind of scared me. But then I had one of these little cheap little OBD2 scanners, and I erased the codes on there, and it's been working great. More power, smoother ride. Everything kind of just seems like it's working back to normal when I first got it. So the battery's charging a little bit more. It doesn't charge quite all the way to the top. Let me see what it's at now. So it'll get a bar higher, but it was lower. It was getting low. It would never charge anywhere past that. So hopefully this helps, man. Just giving you some tips and stuff like that. If be happy to put my email address on there, and feel free to email me. Always willing to try to help somebody out if it means saving you $4,200 from the dealer, when you can do something like this. So just do a lot of research on it, watch those different videos, kind of understand what you're getting into, and learn about it like I did. And you can do it. You can do it, man. You can save. I spent $150, $100 for electrical gloves, which, I mean, if you're a master electrician, you know what you're doing. But I'm saying a disclaimer right here and now that if you mess with that stuff, you don't know what you're doing, you could get yourself hurt, seriously killed, something like that. So if there's any difference between seriously killed and not seriously killed, but either way, killed nonetheless. So I work in a hospital emergency room, so I'd hate to see you end up there, man. So just take all the safety precautions that you can. I disconnected my 12-volt battery for about a day or two before I even opened up my hybrid battery compartment and tested the voltmeters for 0 voltage. So that's what I did, and then I felt safe enough. I still worked with the gloves a little bit, but then felt safe enough. So, well, enough rambling, man. I'll leave you all my email address, and hopefully, if you've gone this far into it, hopefully these little tips will help. Remember, when you put that orange plug back, just to put that back down, because I popped it in and I didn't push it down, and the car wouldn't start at all. So, and on my vehicle, I was having a problem with when the old before I repaired the hybrid, I would put it in reverse, and the car would start moving back, and the pedal wouldn't engage, the brake pedal or the gas pedal wouldn't engage, which is an issue. So but now that it's all fixed up, it works really well. Put in reverse, push the gas, and engages. And one time my daughter said she had it in drive, pushed the gas, didn't engage, but everything seems to be working fine, man. So, all right. I always say, man, I'm kind of on YouTube. You have a penny, need a penny, take a penny. You got a penny, leave a penny. So this is my penny.